All right, great, Seven. Last week we started having my perspective and not speech. Okay, we'll just have a quick revision for it. Okay. Okay, we started first with Al Gore. Okay, which has already won or been awarded the Nobel Prize for his speech and his researches in the weather conditions, as he just tried to let us know about the hazards, the dangerous about the weather, the upcoming weather, and the changes in the carbon dioxide level in the climate, and how that is going to affect all of us. We know that the Nobel Prize was already created by the great chemist Mr. Charles Nobel, and we know that Nobel himself has already given this prize only for people who would do something great for humanity and try to help other people. And all of that, of course, because he just felt guilt. Guys, mute, please. And of course, Nobel has already given up all of his money that he has already won from inventing the dynamite because he felt guilt. Those bad people used the dynamite for killing, not for discovery and all of that. Last week we stopped at paragraph number 20, I believe. Yeah. All right. We'll start from paragraph number 19, page 376. 376. Okay. Okay. I'll read the first paragraph and then you will continue. Okay. But unlike most other forms of pollution, carbon dioxide is invisible, tasteless, and odorless, which has helped keep the truth about what's going to our climate out of sight and out of mind. Moreover, the catastrophe now threatening us is unprecedented, and we often confuse the unprecedented with the improbable. So simply now, the man is trying to warn us about the hazards of carbon dioxide, because as we all know, carbon dioxide is tasteless, meaning that you cannot taste it. It is odorless, that has no color, and because it has no color and has no taste, it's very hard for us to notice it. And because of this, carbon dioxide is affecting us very, very badly. And no one can know about its effect until unfortunately it happens. It's like a disease or a hidden virus, like for example coronavirus. You don't know that you have the virus until the effects of the virus comes up and affect you. Okay? Paragraph number 20. Let's start first with the safe. Paragraph number 20, safe.
We also find it hard to arrange making the nervous change that are no nervously to solve the crease and when largers and are
Genuinely.
equivalent who can at least for some them yet as cargo oil remains a sooner or later a false proof pops up against solid
Reality.
usually unoperative.
Thank you very much. So the man here is talking to us and to us. We also found it hard to imagine making the massive changes that are now necessary to solve the crisis. So he's telling us it's very hard for us to just have any mind or to try to think about any necessary solutions, any obligatory solutions. Necessary means a very, very essential solution for the crisis. The crisis, the big problem we are having, which is the increase of carbon dioxide. And when large truths are genuinely inconvenient, when you have totally something in fact in front of you, whole societies can at least for time ignore them. So it's impossible just to try to ignore the hazards and the bad effects of carbon dioxide on our society right now, because it's happening and no one can deny it. Like, for example, the great writer George Orwell reminds us sooner or later, guys, we have to know that a false belief bumps up against solid reality, usually on a battlefield. So simply, if you think that carbon dioxide is a false belief that no one will be affected by carbon dioxide because it's false, no, unfortunately, it will come to our solid reality, especially on the battlefield. And unfortunately, the battlefield here, in the case of carbon dioxide, is the changes in our climate that will affect all of us, not only a specific spot or a certain society or a certain country, yet it's gonna affect the whole planet Earth. Okay, paragraph number 21, Muhammad Al-Otaibi. Nawaf.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, 21.
21.
Yep.
In the years since this prize was first awarded, the entire relationship between humankind and the Earth has been radically transformed, and still we have remained largely oblivious to the impact of our cumulative actions.
So simply, he's trying to tell us that, guys, now we have a very big award, a very big prize, which is the Nobel Prize, and this is the relation of the humankind to the planet Earth. Because now this prize, the Nobel one, is being given to those who would do something great to humanity or to our planet, whether in science, in peace, in physics, in the advanced technology, etc. Okay, so now, guys, we need to remind ourselves shortly about the oblivious impact of the cumulative actions, meaning that we have a very, very serious actions that are happening in our society, and we have now to take care of the humankind and also planet Earth. Okay, number 22, Abdulaziz Al Yusuf. Al Yusuf. Thamer.
Can I read?
Okay, Al-Taibi.
Yes, can I,
Can I read Muhammad Al-Taibi, teacher?
Okay, Al-Taibi first, then Thamer.
Which where would the stop? Paragraph 22.
22.
Ended without without realizing it. We have begun the war, the wage war. To wage war on the earth itself. Now we and the earth climate are locked in our relationship familiar to war planners.
Yes.
Planners. I can't say well. Mutiny. Assert direction. Destruction. Teacher, I can't see well.
Okay. Indeed, without realizing it, guys, we have begun to wage a war on the planet Earth itself. Now, we and the Earth's climate are locked in a relationship familiar to war planners, naturally assured destruction. Meaning that because now we have gone very, very wrongly with our planet, unfortunately now we are like in a battlefield. We humans are fighting against planet Earth. And unfortunately, there is a connection now between both of us, and this connection is a destructive one. We are trying to destroy planet Earth by introducing more carbon dioxide, by the pollution we are making in our planet, and that's how we are trying to destroy our planet, unfortunately. On the other hand, the planet Earth, because of the destruction, bad stuff happens in the planet itself. Like when the climate goes up, the ice and the Arctic will melt, and this will cause a catastrophic destructions and crisis upon us human. In the other hand, so we are trying to destroy the planet, and as a result, the planet replies to us. Okay, Tamer.
Teacher,
Yes, Ali.
I forgot to
Yes,
tell you something, but in the quiz, question number 3, it says something
Don't
about
talk to me. Don't talk to me about the quiz now, please. Don't talk to me about that. Tamer, continue. 23.
more than 2 decades ago, scientists calculated that nuclear war could throw so much debris and smoke into the air that it would block life-giving sunlight from our atmosphere, causing a nuclear winter. Their eloquent warnings also helped galvanize the world's resolve to halt to halt the nuclear arms race.
So
Now,
now,
science.
thank you, Tamer. So
Welcome.
now the man is telling us that 2 decades ago, well, approximately 20 years, okay, scientists calculated the nuclear war. So because of the destruction that the nuclear war that will affect us and can destroy a lot of things, not only humans, but will affect all the planet. So because of this, it course gives out debris and smoke. This will affect us, and we will come into either a nuclear war or equivalent warning. And both of them, of course, will destroy us. That's why we try to galvanize the world resolve and finally to halt it, to stop the nuclear arm, to stop the nuclear arm race in all places in the earth. Okay, so that's a problem we found, and then we found a solution after discussing it. Okay, paragraph number 24. Khalid. Khalid.
Okay. Now science is warning us that if we don't quickly reduce the global warming pollution that is trapping so much of the heat our planet normally radiates back out of the atmosphere, we are in a danger of creating a permanent carbon summer.
All right.
Okay.
So I believe, as you have already studied in science, okay, the Earth, planet Earth, absorbs the radiation that the sun gives us. So the sun sends us light and heat, right? Planet Earth itself takes some of it and radiate back or gives back a lot amount of it. If now the amount of carbon dioxide is being increased inside the planet Earth, okay, so the amount that the Earth gives back into the space will be less and will be held inside the planet. That's why the atmosphere or the temperature rises due to carbon dioxide. Okay, again, we take sun light from the sun, and then we send back a lot of the amount of it into the space. Okay, like when you shed a light upon a mirror and the light will be reflected. So we have sun rays from we just reflect some of it. So they are being held or seized inside the planet itself. And because of these rays now, the temperature will rise and cause these catastrophic events. Okay, paragraph number 25. It's a pretty easy one. The American poet Robert Frost wrote, some say the world will end in fire. Some say nice. Either he notes would suffice. Okay, so now our poet here, the poet Robert Frost, said that some people say that probably our world will end in fire or end in ice. Okay, so meaning that we either have a huge amount of temperature that will fire us all, or that we will go into another ice age. So either of them, okay, it doesn't matter because we will suffice, we will sacrifice, we will die. So we will either die by fire or die by ice. So we have to act and act quickly, but neither need to be fake. It is time to make peace with the planet. So we don't have guys to die with fire or to die either with ice. We can just take it easy and try to make peace with our planet, and by that we will live happily ever after. All right, paragraph number 27. Who wants to read? عصير أسامة زهير MK خالد الخليفة محمد الفالح Ali, anyone?
Me.
Okay.
What paragraph? What
27.
paragraph? 27, I think. We must quickly mobilize our civilization with the urgency and resolve that has previously been seen only when nations mobilized for war. This prior struggles for survival were won when leaders found words at the 11th hour that released a mighty surge of courage, hope, and readiness to sacrifice for a protracted and mortal challenge. These were
All right. So in paragraph 7, guys, the man is telling us that we must mobilize quickly our civilization and urgency and solve that has previously been seen only when nation mobilize for war. Simply, guys, now we are inside a war, but now it's a war with ourselves because now we must stop the increasing of carbon dioxide and the pollution. Because if we didn't mobilize quickly, catastrophic would happen, and no one of us would be able to stop them. Okay, 28. I want us to read.
Me, teacher, me.
Okay.
Me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yep.
These
Yeah.
were not comforting and misleading assurances that the threat was not real or imminent. That it would affect others but not ourselves. That ordinary life might be lived even in the presence of extraordinary threat. The providence could be trusted to do for us what we would not to do for ourselves.
Bravo, very good, yes, sir. So here, guys, the man is telling us again that we are not comforting and misleading assurances that the threat was not real or imminent, meaning that, guys, we do have a threat. We must act now. Otherwise, planet Earth will have to mute. Okay, next page. Mute it. Okay, in the next page, guys, in front of you now, you see a photo, okay, of a factory that is reducing a huge amount of smoke. Of course, this smoke contains carbon dioxide. Guys, mute. Tamer, mute. Again, in front of us now with the image of a factory that is reducing a huge amount of pollution. Of course, this pollution contains a huge amount of carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide is very, very bad to our planet. Paragraph number 29. Who didn't read? Anyone didn't read?
Me.
No, these were calls to come to the defense of the common future. They were called upon the courage, generosity, and strength of entire peoples, citizens of every class and condition who were ready to stand against the threat once asked to do so. Our enemies in those times calculated that free people would not rise to the challenge. They were, of course, catastrophically
Bravo.
wrong.
Okay, bravo, very good. Abdulaziz. Okay, so the man here also continues to tell us that now, guys, we have to start to defend, not to defend ourselves from outside war, but to defend ourselves from ourselves. Because now we have a common future. All of us, all the human being living on planet Earth, we have just one future. And unfortunately, if we didn't act, people, citizen, every class of people, everyone, everywhere, unfortunately, we will have a catastrophically wrong action, and because of that, we all are gonna extend or die. All right, going to paragraph number 30. Who wants to read? Who didn't read? Asil? Ahmad? Guys, stop chatting. This is a class. Can chat in the group. Asil. Ahmad? Abdurrahman? Can you hear me?
Hello, teacher.
Okay. Paragraph
I read
number 30.
30. Okay.
Yep.
Now comes the threat of climate crisis. A threat that is real, rising, imminent, and universal.
Universal.
Once again, it is 11th hour. The penalties
Penalties.
for ignoring
Ignoring.
this challenge are immense and growing and growing, and that some near point would be
Unsubstantial.
unsubstantial and unrecoverable. For now, we still have the power to choose our fate. And the remaining question is only this: have we the will to act vigorously and in time, or will we remain imprisoned by dangerous illusions?
Illusion. Thank you, Ahmed. So now the man continues to tell us that now comes the threat of the climate crisis. The big problem of the climate is threatening us right now. A threat that is real. Please, guys, know that our threat is real. I'm not just talking in illusions. I'm not just talking in vain. It's a real threat to threaten us all, and also rising, imminent, happening right now, and universal everywhere on the planet. And once again, it is the 11th hour. 11th hour, as you know, the meaning of 11th hour, guys. Okay, when we use this expression, it means something that is happening for us in the past few minutes, something that is happening right now, recently, and affects us very, very badly. The penalties for ignoring the challenge are immense, huge, massive, and unrecoverable. We cannot recover from it. For now, we still have the power to choose our fate. Now we still have the power to choose our fate, meaning that so far we still have the power to act correctly. But if we ignore this, come on, a huge catastrophic shall happen. And the remaining question is still have we the will to act vigorously and in time? Do we have, do we obtain the ability, the will to act courageously, with courage, and also in time? Because if we didn't do that, will we remain imprisoned by our dangerous illusion? Number 31. Mahatma Gandhi awakened the largest democracy on earth and forged a shared resolve with what he called Satyagraha or truth force, meaning that Mahatma Gandhi, which is very, very famous thinker, and also he was the leading for the Indian people. Okay, he told us about the truth force, which we call in the India as Satyagraha. Okay, the truth force meaning that if you have a problem, just say the truth. Okay, and by saying the truth, you can find a solution for your problem. Do not just ignore it. Do not consider it as just illusion, because it's happening in every land. The truth once known had the power to set us free. So by saying the truth, you can set yourself free. Like when you go to a court, in the court, once you go in, the judge will ask you to say, yeah, and repeat after him, I bear witness that I say the truth and nothing but the truth. Okay, and of course for us Muslims, truth is our resolve and the way that sets us free. All right, next page, paragraph number 33. Who wants to read? Ali?
Me.
Okay, start.
Fahd.
Okay, Fahd.
Trust also has the power on to
Unite.
unite us and bridge the distance between me and we, creating the basis for common effort and shared
Responsibility.
responsibility.
Okay, continue.
There is an African proverb that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We need to go far quickly.
Okay, so in paragraph number 33, the man is telling us that truth has the power to unite us all together and bridge the distance, meaning that to make a connection between two things, to make a bridge, to make a distance, or some kind of concrete thing between two things. Okay, to bridge the distance between me and we. Okay, so don't just think about yourself. Don't say I. Don't let the ego comes out. No, think about all of us as one human. Okay, all of us are human beings, so we shall think and consider our own safety all together, not just separately. Okay, then he's telling us about an African proverb that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. Yet on the other hand, if you want to go far, go together. And unfortunately, we must go far and quickly. So if you want to travel very, very fast, go alone for yourself. If you need to go for a far distance, take a friend with you. But right now in this climate crisis, we have to go far and go quickly. Means to act very rapidly, very quickly, very fast, and act on a very high level. Paragraph 35. Who started? 35. Who wants to read? الفالح. Who didn't read, guys?
Teacher,
Yes.
170, 171, and 2, 3. Do we study it?
Yeah, 70, 71, and 72. We have done them, and they all are on class era.
Okay. Teacher,
Paragraph 35.
quiz till 7.
Don't tell me anything about the quiz.
في ناس ما
Paragraph 35.
Me, teacher.
Okay.
35.
Yep.
Well, we must abandon the concept that individual, isolated, private actions are the answer. They can and do help, but they will not take us far enough without collective action. At the same time, we must ensure that in mobilizing globally, we do not invite the establishment of ideological conformity and a new locksteadism.
Step is okay. Very good now. Very good. So again, the minister on that. Please do not act individually. Do not act isolated. Do not act in private actions. This is not the answer, guys, because our answer lies in mobilizing globally. Mobilizing globally mean that all the human beings must act together. Okay. Otherwise, we will have to suffer from ideological conformity or some thoughts like locksteadism. Locksteadism meaning that once we are trying to fix the problem, we will suffer from an ideology that will stop us from solving the problem, and this is so bad for us. Paragraph number 36. That means adapting principles, values, law, and treaties that release creativity and initiative. Okay. At every level of society in multiple responses, originating concurrently and spontaneously. This new consciousness requires expanding the possibilities inherent in all humanity. The innovators who will devise a new way to harness the sun's energy for pennies or invent an engine that's carbon negative may live in Lagos or Mumbai or Montevideo. We must ensure that entrepreneurs and inventors everywhere on the globe have the chance to change the world. So again, in both of the two paragraphs, the man is still talking about that. We must be sure that when we act correctly. Do not just start by using cheap materials to make cheap engines or anything that will harm us and harm our planet. Paragraph number 38, Ali.
Teacher 38.
Yep.
When we unite for a moral purpose that is meant to be good and true, the spiritual energy unleashed can transform us. The generation that teacher, it's not defeated,
Fascism.
fascism throughout the world in the 1940s, found in rising to meet their awesome challenge that they had gained the moral authority and long-term vision to launch the Marshall Plan, the United Nations, and a new level of global cooperation, and foresight that unfind Europe and facilitate the teacher, I cannot see this word. It is not seeable.
The emergence of democracy and prosperity in Germany, Japan, Italy, and much of the world. Okay, in paragraph number 38, thank you, Ali. In paragraph number 38, when we unite for a moral purpose, okay, when we unite, means that when we become one person, acting like one, when we unite, guys, okay, it's manifestly good and true the spiritual energy unleashed can transform us, meaning that if we unite and act like one man, we will have the power and unleash all the energy within us and inside us to heal our planet. The generation that defeated fascism, he's talking about his own generation now, that defeated fascism and communism and the bourgeoisie regimes and systems, all of that throughout the world in the 1940s, found in rising to meet their awesome challenge. Now it is time for them to find another challenge after defeating fascism and communism. Okay, now there is another challenge for them to defeat, which is the global warming. That they had gained the moral authority and long-term vision to launch the Marshall Plan, the United Nations, and a new level of the global cooperation and foresight, the unified Europe, and facilitated the emergence of democracy and prosperity in Germany, Japan, Italy, and much of the world. Meaning that, guys, he just talking to the people, trying to remind them with their achievements that they have already facilitated their life by defeating fascism, by the Marshall Plan, by unifying Europe, by making the whole of Europe in prosperity and flourish and in a good conditions. But now, guys, you must act again because unfortunately, this problem will affect all of us. And if we didn't act quickly, all of what we have already done, all of the good things that we have already done in the 1940s until so far, all of it will be demolished and destroyed. One of the visionary leaders, said it is time we steered by the stars and not by the lights of every passenger. It was Omar what? He was an American captain, a U.S. captain who served in, I believe, in North Africa and also Europe in World War II. The man was a visionary also. He was a dreamer, and he had a dream because after serving in World War II, he's telling us now it's time to steer by the stars, meaning that to steer to the future, to look up on the future, and not by the lights of every passing ship. And here he's talking about the dangerous that we may die anytime, okay, because he was serving in the military in World War II. Okay, this is a very awesome quote from him. Okay, in the last year of that war, we gave the Peace Prize to a man from my hometown of 2,000 people, Carthage, Tennessee. His name was Cordell Hull. Okay, remind his name. Was described by Franklin Roosevelt himself as the father of the United Nations. Okay, because this man has really done an outstanding job to unite the whole nations. He was an inspiration and a hero to my own father, who followed Hull in the Congress and also the U.S. Senate, and in the commitment to the world peace and global cooperation. My parents spoke often of Hull, always in tones of reverence and admiration. 8 weeks ago, when you announced this prize, the deepest emotion I felt was when I saw the headline in my hometown paper that simply noted that I have won the same prize that Hull has already won before. Okay, so now after his father and mother, both of his parents, were admired by Cordell Hull, the peace nominated for Nobel Prize and the one who already won it. Now their son has already won the same prize. In that moment, I knew what my father and mother would have felt were they alive, meaning that they both are dead right now.
Teacher,
Yes.
the quiz when
Okay, guys,
question
that's enough for today.
173 and 74. Do you study it or not? Is it coming in the quiz?